Hi, my name's Gail. I'm 60 years old, and about 6 months ago I moved to Wuhan, China to teach English at a local university and explore this beautiful country. Well, if you've been watching my videos, you know that my best friend came to visit. I feel so lucky to have a friend come all the way over here, and we traveled to 5 different cities. So today I want to tell you about the 3rd city we visited, which is Xi'an. So I learned so much in this city, and it was such an adorable city. So first of all, this is a fan, and it's backwards on your side, I think, but this is the symbol for Xi, which is west, and this is the symbol for An, which is peace. So Xi'an, so that means west peace. Well, Xi'an used to be called Chang'an back in ancient times, and so Xi'an actually has 2 names, Xi'an and Chang'an. And so when we went to the city, we saw both of those names all over the place. So that was really interesting and something that I learned. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that in the video. I also want to show you this terracotta warrior. So this was a 30-year dream come true of mine. I got to see the terracotta warriors, which is a world wonder. And I want to show you this book. I'm reaching over here. So they were discovered by a group of farmers, I think, in the 1970s. So I'll tell you a little bit more about it in the video. But I bought this book, and the farmer signed it. And so I got to meet him after we saw the terracotta warrior. So that was really thrilling. So just going to Xi'an was really a lot of fun. I learned so much. One of the reasons that I'm doing these videos is to empower especially women in my age demographic who might be nervous about traveling. As I was preparing to move over here, I watched a lot of vloggers, and a lot of them are in their 20s and 30s, and they're doing all this crazy stuff, and I'm like thinking, would I have energy to do those things? I have chronic fatigue, and my hip is always killing me, and all that kind of stuff. And so I hope that through watching these videos, whether you're in my age group or of any age, you can feel empowered that traveling to China is fun, it's easy, and very doable, and there's so much to see here. So I want to thank you for watching. At the end of the video, I'm going to share some things that I would do differently if I were to plan the trip again. But again, thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the video. We arrived in Xi'an from our Beijing train at about midnight, and the train station was packed. It took a while to get our Didi car, so we didn't get to our hotel until about 1 a.m. We stayed at the Sofitel Legend People's Hotel. It was one of the first hotels in China to open to Westerners in 1953. It was so beautiful, we called it the Palace. The service was amazing too. The next morning we headed out, and we were so impressed with the quaint feel of the city. Tree-lined streets, wide lanes. I felt I could live here. We were on our way to visit the city wall. It was 97 degrees and humid, but for some reason we thought it would be a good idea to bike, because that's what you do when you're in Xi'an. Xi'an is the only city in China with a complete ancient city wall still intact. This wall has been protecting the city for over 600 years since the Ming Dynasty. The watchtowers were spaced perfectly for archers to protect the city. Now they are used for photo shoots. It's 12 meters high and 14 kilometers in length, and we biked about a quarter of it. Back in the day, soldiers could race horses up here to defend the city. Now it's a spot for celebrations and parades. Inside the wall is Old Xi'an. It represents the ancient heart of Xi'an. You'll see narrow alleys, courtyard homes, hidden temples, tea houses, and local life. Outside the wall represents modern Xi'an. You see skyscrapers and shopping, glitzy malls, high-rise apartments and hotels, tech hubs, and mass transit stations. Xi'an has served as the capital of China for 13 different dynasties over more than 1,100 years. The city has been renamed over 40 times in history. In 206 BC, the city was first called Chang'an, meaning Perpetual Peace. It was the #1 metropolis in the world during the Han and Tang Dynasties. They changed it to Xi'an in the 1400s during the Ming Dynasty. It means Western Peace. When you visit, you'll see both names used. After our grueling bike ride, we went to a local restaurant for the tastiest green beans I've ever had, along with some super tasty bread similar to pita. We took a rest and headed out for the evening to see the famous Giant Wild Goose Pagoda, a 1,300-year-old Buddhist treasure and one of the most iconic landmarks of the Silk Road. It was breathtaking. The pagoda was built in 652 AD and designed to store Buddhist scriptures brought from India. It has 7 stories, but we didn't get a chance to go inside. We were distracted by the lively Night Bazaar. Food, shopping, magical lights, and of course, people dressed up in ancient costumes to take photos. They call the bazaar area the Tang Paradise. It was here that we learned that Xi'an is also called Chang'an. It was buzzing with energy. We learned that one of Asia's largest musical fountain shows takes place there, but they didn't have it that day. We finally joined in a group dancing near the pagoda, and we couldn't figure out how everyone knew all the moves. We stopped at the McDonald's for ice cream and were spellbound by the moon perfectly set over the ancient buildings as we waited for our car home. The next morning, we had our tour to the Terracotta Warriors, and I'm so glad we booked that tour. The place was packed, and rightly so. These warriors are one of the most incredible archaeological discoveries of all time. It was mind-blowing. Over 8,000 life-size clay soldiers standing in battle formation for over 2,200 years. Every single warrior had different features, hairstyles, and even expressions. No two are exactly alike. Archaeologists think they were probably modeled after real soldiers from the emperor's army. They were built in 210 BC by China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. They were to be buried with him to protect him in the afterlife. These warriors were accidentally discovered in 1974 by farmers digging a well. One of the farmers was there that day, and I got to meet him. They even found real weapons like bronze swords and crossbows, some of them still sharp after thousands of years. Most of the warriors were smashed into pieces because the emperor's tomb was raided after the fall of his dynasty. Archaeologists are still excavating this site and have spent decades painstakingly putting them back together piece by piece. It was a dream come true for me to see these warriors in person, and I was so thrilled to meet that farmer. I hope you can come see them too. On our way home, we stopped for a late lunch and had Xi'an's famous biang biang noodles. They were delicious. After resting, we decided to go to the ancient Xuyuanmen Art Street. We found an artsy heartbeat of Xi'an with a Tang Dynasty charm. Cobblestone streets, artists at work, calligraphy shops, quirky cafes, and more. We both bought some local paintings to remember our visit and got great deals. We couldn't decide between the art street or the Muslim quarter, and we were so happy we chose the art street. It was enchanting. Outside there was a snack street with restaurants, so we had dinner before catching our car home. On the way home, our Didi driver took us past the 600-year-old bell tower. The bell tower and nearby drum tower were once used to tell time in this city. What a spectacular sight. We could tell he was proud as he also drove us by the city wall, which was all lit up red. We were sad to say goodbye to this adorable city. The next morning, we found the Xi'an train station to be just like an airport. It was so clean and organized, just like all the others. This time, we had a day train, so we got to see some amazing scenery on our way to Chengdu while we reflected on our wonderful time in Xi'an. So, if you made it to the end of this video, I want to thank you so much for watching. So now what I'd like to do is tell you a little bit about what I thought went well and what I would change if I could do the trip again. If you have been to Xi'an and you have any suggestions, please drop them in the comments below too. I'd love to hear it. You know, I live here, I can go back. It's like 4 hours away, so I definitely want to go back to that city. But if we were to redo it again, you know, I definitely would prefer traveling in the morning and getting there in the daylight versus at night. It just made it a little more stressful. It worked out. What went well was we planned a rest day on the first day because we knew our train was getting in late, so we didn't have our tour booked for that first day. The second day, what went well was we planned our tour to the Terracotta Warriors. We used Viator for that again. And if you don't know what that is, it's an international website that connects you with local tour companies. So we learned a ton from our tour guide. They pick you up at your hotel and they drop you off there. It works really well. Maybe it's a little more expensive, but it's so worth it. It was just really worth it. It made the trip just a lot easier and more enjoyable. And we learned a lot more. So I think I'm not plugging them. I'm not getting anything out of this from saying it. It went well, and I haven't had any bad experiences with Viator so far. The thing that I would do differently is I wish that we would have stayed 3 days. We had a kind of a tight, crunched schedule, but we didn't get to see the Muslim Quarter, which was okay because Muslim Quarter is mostly about food, and we weren't really caring that much about food, but it would have been great to go see it and see what it was all about and stuff like that. And it's just such an adorable city. One more day there would have been great, but all in all, it was a fantastic trip. Again, drop any comments below if you've been there and you think that there's other stuff to see, because I definitely want to go back. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.